Hello everyone, how you going and welcome back to Mildly Interesting. As it says, for photos that are, mildly interesting. There's not many other ways to describe it, is there? But let's get into it. Hopefully they tickle your fancy. Me and my brother made a bridge for school that held 65 pounds. Damn, that is impressive. I thought it was going to be spanned over a gap though. I didn't expect it to have that middle kind of support. I guess it is just out of paddle pop sticks and hot glue, I imagine. But yeah, it's still impressive. Pounds to kilograms. 65 pounds is, 30 kilos. That's pretty damn impressive. There are some kids that would be able to stand on top of that thing and not have it break. I can only imagine it's for science or something, whether you're learning about physics or I don't know what you'd be doing. But yeah, I had to do a very similar thing to this once, but it was over a gap. It was more of a suspension bridge style. And I think we had to do it out of, God, what was it? Was it spaghetti or something really random? I think it was spaghetti. I think it was about a 40 centimeter gap and it took, I don't know, 6 kilos or something. It was me and my group and we actually came first, I'm fairly sure, or equal first or something like that. The increments of the weights were so massive that no one's took 7, but there was one other person that took 6. So we got equal first. I wonder when it broke. Obviously, did you get this photo and then you put 66 or 67 or whatever you had on and then it broke and then, well, I guess 65 pounds it was and then you were able to post it. So yeah, I guess it's been well done, well thought out. I don't know how mildly interesting it is. Don't get me wrong, it's impressive, but I don't know. I think mildly interesting is a different kind of post to this. The new med's a ball shape. See, this is more what I'm talking about. Like, yes, the last post was cool, but this is what we come here for. Just random little things like this. Since when is medicine in a sphere form? It's always the kind of the elongated, rounded end cylinder, or the really flat burger style. When is it ever in a cylinder? I've no idea what this medicine is, but it almost looks so it's made from 2 halves. So I wonder what it is and if it's kind of a dual action, because I can only assume that it's kind of annoying to make it in a sphere, to get it rounded, but maybe not. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder, because you said it was new medicine, I wonder if it's a new version of the medicine or if it's just a new medicine in total. Because if it's just a new version of the medicine or they've changed it or whatever, I can see why you'd notice immediately, go, hang on, this is what I originally had. But if it's one you've just been prescribed, then I don't know, it'd be less likely you'd pick it up on it, I guess. Most people would never give it a second thought. They'd just kind of go, oh yeah, this is my new medicine, not think of anything of the shape. So see, this person knows what the kind of mildly interesting kind of posts are. This house I toured had a hidden entrance to their utility room. Oh wow, that is fancy. I guess that must be like a utility room, plant room. That is a hell of a house if you're going to have a full room for that. And it certainly looks that way, because with those pool cues and those kind of decorations on the wall, you can kind of get the vibe that this house is getting off. And so it makes perfect sense that they would have kind of a room like this. You need to be able to access it, but you don't want to have it just on display. That would be ugly. You can't have that. This is every kid's dream, to just have their own private room, and you pull a book or you tilt an object or whatever and the door just swings open. I don't fully know what you mean by toured in, because when I think of toured in, I think that you're a musician or something and you're touring around the country. But maybe this was actually a house tour and they actually showed you this. Who knows? But either way, it is very cool. Well, hopefully you got to check it out. Not that there's much in there, but still, to go inside, see, it could be massive. Imagine if it was half the house underneath. You never know what's going on in your own private bunker. My jaw from below looks like a nose from above. See, what is this post? This is so random. How do you even go about figuring this out in the first place? How many random Snapchats have you sent before you figured this one out? You're just giving random angles all over the place. One from below, one above, and you went, hang on. That last Snapchat looked like the one before. Or maybe whoever you were sending them to went, did you just send me the same photo? And you went, no, one was up here, one was down here. And then you discovered something new about yourself. It was that easy. The thing is though, I feel as though this would be true with a lot of people. They're two very generic shapes. As long as you have some kind of jawline and then, I don't know what I'd call a normal nose, but not some random nose, then I feel as though there's going to be some similarity here. Yeah, some people like this guy might have a bit more symmetry, but surely everyone's going to have some level where it looks similar. Still, I just love that you figured this out and thought that it was mildly interesting. And how many upvotes does it have? And 65,500 other people agreed with you. I wonder how many people this post caused to take a photo from underneath and then a photo from above, just to check it out themselves. But hey, if everyone can learn a bit more about themselves, there's no harm in that. The old escalators of Wynyard train station in Sydney now hang from the ceiling. Yeah, they do. Yeah, look at those bad boys. Yep, they're I don't know how old they are, but they were old. It's cool what they did with them. I haven't actually seen them in person, but I did hear about this, or I don't know where I saw it. I saw something about it. But yeah, the fact they were able to twist them, obviously it's not the entire carcass of it. They just kind of took the tops and bottoms, I think. Wynyard's been under construction for such a long time. I haven't actually been there since it's kind of been finished or whatnot. But no, it's a really cool piece of art that's using the history of the train station. It'd be a shame for this kind of stuff to just get chucked out. And so if you can make this cool piece of snaking artwork or whatever, then I'm all the more for it. Looking at that though, I can only imagine that the installers had a fun job doing that. I don't know how you lift it up, maybe on a forklift or something. Got to get a scissor lift in there and bolt it to the roof. But yeah, hopefully people aren't too afraid of you, and you know, some people think that they might munch you, so being above their head might be a bit unnerving for them. But hey, I'm sure it'll be fine, and I reckon they look pretty cool, so I'm happy this happened. My freezer produces ice spheres rather than ice cube. Weird flex, but okay. Damn, no, there's something actually really nice about there, isn't there? I guess actually being an ice sphere is probably better than being an ice cube. You know, there's way more surface area to volume ratio. So yeah, I'm sure it makes sense to do this. I feel as though generally you would only find this in a super high-end fancy restaurant or something. And, you know, these guys spend hours handcrafting all of these ice spheres to be put in one drink per night. But yeah, no, this is cool that your freezer is able to do this. I have no idea how it does it. I can only assume looking at it that it has some kind of mold and it molds it from two sides and whatnot and then spits it out. But yeah, that is cool. I wonder if you knew that when you bought the fridge, because I feel as though that'd be a seriously advertised factor of the fridge if you knew about it. And if you didn't know about it, imagine the surprise when you go, whoa, I got spheres and not cubes. This is crazy. Every time you bring someone over, you just want to show them the ice spheres that you've got instead. So yeah, I guess I am a bit jealous of this. I want some ice spheres. My rug looks like a giant version of my napkin. Oh yeah, nice. Well spotted. I can't imagine how you figure this out. You know, you're just sitting on the couch or at the table or whatever, and then you go to lift up your napkin and then you go, huh, this kind of blends into the carpet. Hang on, it's the same pattern. To be fair though, this pattern has existed for, I don't know, tens of thousands of years. I'm sure if you had to look at some Greek architecture, it'll be in there somewhere. But no, anyway, I guess it is well spotted. I do like how it looks like here, you've even lined it up with this corner and whatnot. Look at that, yeah, perfectly alignment. And then this one kind of looks going on there. It would have been really cool if you could have got the perspective right and the size right, so then the shapes all lined up and you just had a continuation of your rug into the napkin. I guess the main thing here is that the carpet's white. If the carpet wasn't white, I don't think you would have noticed, or it wouldn't have been a biggest deal. You know, it's because of the color scheme that the rug looks like a big napkin. If it was some random colors, you probably wouldn't have even noticed. And you'll never be able to unsee it now, whether you get the same pattern napkins for the rest of your life or not. If that rug stays with you, you'll always think that it's a napkin. So hey, maybe it's quite a plush rug and you want to get down there, wipe your face and your hands off on it. Each one of those squares on the rug is probably about the same size as a napkin, so you've got, I don't know, 50 there or something. You know, that's plenty of time, but when it gets a bit dirty, chuck it in the washing machine or wash it or whatever, and then you got a brand new napkin. Really, it's just eco-friendly. But hey, like I said, if you could have lined up the squares a bit better, then you would have made it onto mildly interesting as you have, and oddly satisfying, and that is some top tier content then. Amish / Mennonite people looking at a supercar. Wow, it would be just so out of this world to you, wouldn't it? You just look at that thing. You know, if you're used to horse drawing cars and whatnot, that is just a spaceship. I mean, the Lamborghini Huracan is already kind of a spaceship, let's be honest, but for those people, it would just be completely out of this world. And the color scheme too, you know, if you're used to horse and cart and whatnot, then that fluoro green is going to be so eye-popping, it's going to be mental. You know, look at their color scheme, they're in black and white, and that's it. And then you got such a stark contrast of the Lamborghini green that is there. I wonder if deep down inside they'd go, man, I wish I could have a go in that. That'd be so much fun. You know, we're used to 1 or 2 horsepower, not 700 or whatever it is. That'd be such a cool video for someone to make, you know, Amish people reacting to all these range of things that they've never experienced before, maybe. Everything from hypercars like this, and I don't know if they fly or whatnot. Things like that people might take for granted. Not that you had to drive this car every day, but you at least know it exists. But for these people, it'd just be a whole new world. You just see their mind blown every single time. Man, I want someone to make that. Mr. Beast, get on it. Our wedding bands are laser engraved with each other's fingerprint. Whoa, damn. That's such fine laser engraving. Oh my goodness. I don't know what else you get engraved. I guess names and a date maybe, but that is so cool. I've never heard of that before. I have no idea how the machine would be able to get into the ring to laser engrave on the inside of it like that. You know, I get the outside because it's all accessible and whatnot, but I would think that it needs a clear line of sight from the other side of the ring, and obviously it's a ring, so that's not how it works. That's just such a beautiful detail that unless it's off and you're talking about it, no one will ever know, but you know about it and you go, this is something that we have with us at all times, and that's so cool. I feel as though as all that technology gets further and further along, this might just become the norm, you know? People just be doing this all the time, and I guess it's pretty cool, even though it's less niche then, but it's still cool that you can do that. I wonder how expensive it was to get this done though. I can't imagine it being cheap, and anything that is associated with a wedding often has the price hiked up a bit. And I wonder what the ring's made of, you know? Maybe you couldn't get tungsten because it was too hard, or things like that. You go, oh, I wanted this ring, but we had to get this ring. Or maybe the laser just doesn't care, which is probably the case. You know, lasers are so powerful to just go straight through it, and who cares? But anyway, that is just so cool and so detailed, so well done, and I wonder who thought about it. That's the cool thing. I would never have thought that it's possible. So congrats on the wedding, and congrats on thinking this up, because that's just cool. Bone cancer in a snake skeleton. Ooh, ouchie, wowa, that's going to be painful for you. Oh man, I can't imagine the snake was having too much fun with that in its back. I imagine as the cancer was developing in the snake that it just eventually had to keep its spine straight in that section, and it couldn't remove it at all, because that looks like it's completely fused. You know, obviously it'd eventually just be so excruciatingly painful, and the animal wouldn't be able to move, and so it would die, but still. It just looks horrific to go through. I wonder how many snakes deal with this. You know, obviously you could look up human statistics on this, but there's no way you'd have snake statistics and other for animals in general. I feel as though it really is just a snuff in the face for a snake to have this though, you know, their entire body and everything relies on their spine being flexible. And then to have this just completely immobilizes you, and what are you going to do about it? Nothing. And I guess that's why you end up as a skeleton. I think this is my favorite one so far. It's just so random. I would have never even considered snakes to get this kind of cancer. I don't know. It's just not something you really think about. But for anyone to go through that would just be insane, let alone a snake. These handles don't connect to the floor, so the floor can be cleaned more easily. Would you look at that? That makes so much sense. I don't know what that's from. Where is that? Maybe it's Germany or something? I feel as though that is pretty German though. You know, they love their engineering and all these kind of stuff. I wonder what these kind of trains get cleaned with. Do they get hosed out? Do they get vacuumed? Do you get mopped? What can you do to clean this efficiently and quickly? Obviously, whatever it is, it's helped a lot by it not touching the floor, so that's a bit strange, but it must have been taking so much time to clean around that little part if this is the kind of investment they're going to. And it also just always looks weird to me when you can see down the entire length of the train. I remember when I was in Japan, and I think it was the first time I kind of recognized it. You just see the entire train turning on the tracks. You know, in Sydney, you can't see the entire train. You know, there's split deck and there's doors and all this other stuff in the way. There's no way you could see it. And so it's really cool if you're in the back of the train, you just see the entire front end of the train just suddenly whip around. You're like, 3, 2, 1, here it comes. And then, whoop, there you go, you turn. But anyway, that is pretty cool. And whoever thought that up, I'm sure got a promotion. Or at least I hope they did. At my local supermarket, the price of rum goes up as the naval ranking goes down. Admiral Nelson's premium spice rum, where is the naval ranking? I don't know what's going on. Oh, I see what's going on here. I was thinking it was some kind of like sailors rate this. No, but it's Admiral, Captain, and Sailor. Oh, there's not much between a Captain Morgan and a Sailor Jerry though. Look, only 50 cents. But then the Admiral Nelson's is, that is on sale for $9. That is a very niche thing to notice though. The fact that they are all boat related and that you've noticed that the price increases as they decrease. I guess the price increase does make sense. Look, this one's 70 proof and this one's 92 proof. Can we see what this one is? Not really. I don't know what Captain Morgan is, but that really is such a random little thing to notice. See, this just shows you how many little things are out there that most people wouldn't even notice. And luckily we have this person to show us. So the little things that make you go, wow, I guess that is cool. My suspiciously perfect banana was printed in New York Magazine. If Reddit votes counted in real life, this banana could have been elected to Congress in 2018. 149,000 upvotes. Oh my goodness, wait. That is a crazy amount of votes. Now, I don't know if I'm bothered to go fact check this person, but I'm only going to take everyone else's word for it, considering it had what? 90,000 upvotes. I'm just going to assume that a whole bunch of those 90,000 checked it before upvoting it. But yeah, I guess that is a pretty pristine banana. I mean, you have taken the picture from the top though, so if there was any curve, you wouldn't be able to tell. Rotate it 90 degrees and it might be the most curved banana you've ever seen, but that's all about perspective here. I mean, I don't doubt that it's straight. I've seen plenty of virtually perfect straight bananas and it does look really weird, but still, it kind of is the wrong photo to show. You know, every banana is going to curve from the stalk and you've taken it at the wrong angle, so that is some sneaky business right here. But anyway, I guess it is a funny comment on the whole thing, so maybe that changes for the best. Maybe it's not better to have 150,000 people voting for a banana and less voting for something going into Congress. Unless you really want the banana in Congress, which, you know, you might sound tasty, but I don't think it's the best thing for the country. So yeah, I think the fact that this has changed is definitely for the better. The smallest handrail you've ever seen. That is the smallest handrail I've ever seen. Wow, I wonder where this is. This has to be in some kind of elderly home or something like that. There's no way that this is needed anywhere else. Or perhaps it's in a restaurant or something where it requires that every little step must be accompanied by a handrail. Imagine being the installers on this going, really? We have to install 3 bolts, a little pickup, and then a 10cm handle for someone to grab onto to step down 1 step. At that rate, you might as well just hold onto the wall and step down the step and save all the handrail shenanigans. I think actually what's more mildly interesting about this photo is the fact that the carpet is different but the same. Look, on the right here, you've got a big fat red line and a 2, and then on the left, you've got these tiny pinstripe red with nothing else and no numbers, but the internals are the same with the 9 black squares and the blue and whatnot. I think that's more strange, the fact that this is actually carpet it looks like, and that's more of a rug. That is so weird. What the hell's going on there? Maybe that's why the little handrail's there, because people get a bit freaked out as they're going from one carpet to the other. You know, they look similar, but they're a bit different. They get thrown off. They don't know where they're stepping. It makes some random optical illusion when you look at it from a particular angle and you can't even tell where the step is. So maybe it's just a little warning sign like, hey, there is a step here and you might want to use a handle because we've seen too many people trip when they shouldn't have. I'm going to go with that being the case because there's no reason that handrail should be there otherwise. Was cutting down a tree at a golf course and found a golf ball wedge in it. Hang on, hey, we have seen this one. I thought we've seen this one. What was it on? It was, I think, Never Tell Me the Odds. And I guess it is definitely suited here as well. We won't dwell on it too long because we have seen it, but yeah, it's mildly interesting that you were able to do it. My dad's new fire pit is a 60-inch excavating bucket. Damn, that is a hell of a fire pit. I would take that in a heartbeat. That is so cool. How do you even find something like that? What, do you have to go to every big mining sell-off ever, and then they're going, oh yes, we have this big rusty old bucket. Would anyone like it? And you go, hey, yeah, I'll take it for $5, thanks. And in saying that, I wonder how much he got it for, because it's also a piece of art. That's so cool. And it'll last a lifetime. You know, it's inch-thick steel in the thinnest of places, and even though you're putting a fire in it, it's not going to care. You know, it'll probably take a week to heat up when you've got a fire going, but then it'll also take a week to cool down. Man, that's just so cool. I wonder why it has this one big tooth here. I imagine they're interchangeable if they break off or get damaged or whatnot, but still, I wonder why they're not the same. I also love how there's actually been an area that's been constructed around it. You know, get it off the ground and whatnot, put it on the rocks and surround it in wood. Hopefully that wood doesn't start burning as the entire thing heats up. Other than that, I wonder how the hell they transport it there. I can't imagine it being too light, and to have the facilities to lift that thing, you might as well just have an excavator as is. So I guess in that case it makes sense where you got it from, but if you don't have an excavator and you don't have a forklift, man, that would have been a hell of a thing to get off a truck, or I don't know how you would have got it there. But anyway, that is cool. I want one of those as my fire pit. I lost 170 pounds, then had 9 pounds of excess skin removed. My scars made me look like an in real life Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Whoa, that is mega scarring. Look up the arms and on the belly. 9 pounds too. That's like 4 kilos just of excess skin. But wow, good on you for just that crazy life-changing amount of weight. I've no idea how much you'd weigh now, but I don't know. Let's just put out some arbitrary numbers. If you've gone from 150 kilos to 60 kilos or something like that, I don't even know if the maths is right there, but still, that is just a tremendous amount of weight. That is always talked about as one of the hardest part of people to deal with. Even though they've lost all the weight, they still don't look really trim and toned because they've got all this extra skin still. And there's not many ways to deal with it besides this, but oh my goodness. You know, obviously those scars will leave a mark and you might feel self-conscious about it, but hopefully you're just proud of yourself for losing all that weight. It's interesting, there doesn't look like there's anything on the legs at all though. I wonder if it's on the back or whatnot. I think that's one of the most mildly interesting things about it. The fact that it's like, you know, it's hips, arms and everything, but there's nothing on the legs. But anyway, I can only imagine that they're posing as kind of like a celebratory, look at me, look what I've done kind of picture. So well done, congratulations. I hit a ticket jackpot and started redeeming tickets before they finished dispensing. Oh my goodness, that is just every kid's dream, isn't it? You really hope that the ticket machine isn't any faster at counting tickets than the actual jackpot was. You seem to have a lot on the ground, so maybe you've got enough of a buffer even if it is faster, but still. Look at that, you've already got 489 tickets and you've got thousands to go. I remember I won the jackpot once and I don't ever remember what kind of game it was, but oh man, when you just see all those tickets just spilling out. I'm fairly sure I actually had the perfect snake where it just folds 10 tickets and then it folds 10 tickets and then it folds 10 tickets over and over and over again for, I don't know, 5,000 or something. It was a crazy jackpot. I'd love to see this lady in the tram style where once the actual winning machine finished spitting out all the tickets, you actually fed that in back into one of the other machines and then it just sucked hundreds in at once. You know, right at the end it's going to break off and split into two and you see who finishes first. I don't know what's more satisfying, but it'd be cool to see. But man, that is just such a good feeling watching all those tickets just go in and in and in. Look, like I said, he's got 489 and he's got thousands to go, and if it's still spinning it out, he might hit a 5k or something. So hey, maybe if he's lucky, he'll be able to get a Rubik's Cube or a yo-yo with that kind of crazy ticket count. You know, with really hitting the jackpot, you get those big prizes. And the top of mildly interesting is my 100% complete collection of every Lego shield ever made. I love how this is the top post of the month. That is great. Now, I'm no Lego connoisseur to this extent, so I'm not going to be able to validate this per se, and we all have to take his word for it. But either way, that is a serious collection they've got going. If you had asked me how many Lego shields have been made though, I would have said there was way more than this. You know, just the scale of Lego and the amount of things and different issues that they've released, I would have just thought would have been astronomical. Like, this is a lot. I don't know how many, maybe 200 or something there. But what have we got? We've got Wonder Woman, Captain America's, a Mercedes. We've got big shields, littler shields down here, long shields, even smaller shields. That looks like Thor's helmet or something. These don't look like shields at all. I don't know what they are. That's just an equivalent of a green screen, but it's a purple screen shield. You can put whatever you want on that one. I mean, when you really do look at it, there is a lot of variation there, isn't there? And some of them are so detailed, like this one. Look at some of these guys in here. All of them are pretty darn cool. Look at that. So congrats on completing it, or at least thinking you completed it. There might be one that you don't even know about somehow, and you go, oh, I'm never going to be able to get it. But anyway, if you say it's complete, we'll take your word for it. But anyway, that is going to do it for Mildly Interesting. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please do the YouTube analytical things down below. Other than that, I've been posting a lot of videos, so maybe you want to check some of the other ones out. You know, what do we have? We had this log down here earlier, and we've seen that on Never Tell Them the Odds that's coming up right now. Or maybe you even want to consider subscribing so you don't miss another one in the future. But all, have a good one and see ya.